Okay, and welcome. So we're going to do a Python script today, and that Python script is going to be an automated emailing script. The reason why is because I just recently finished a 12-week work placement, and while the company was very happy with my work and I got excellent feedback, the only problem is they don't have any suitable positions for me at the moment. So they've said to keep in contact with them, and that would mean that I have to email them, and maybe about once a month. Now, I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to emailing and stuff like that, so I've decided to write a script to actually do that for me. It's actually a simplified version of another script I wrote to actually send in CVs and cover letters and all when I was looking for the work placement. So, as I said, we're doing this in Python, and if you download Python, you normally will get the idle text editor. Will be perfectly fine for our usage at the moment. But I'm actually going to use Visual Code Studio from Visual Studio Code from Microsoft. I think it's the most popular IDE at the moment, and it's free. It's open source, so that's really good. So if you want to get it, you just head over to code.visualstudio.com and just click on the download button. It has Git integrated, so you can use that for your GitHub to pull requests and push them. We won't be doing that today. So before I started, I created a couple of text files. So the way this is going to work is we're going to have a file that contains our credentials. I know this is probably not the most secure way of doing it, but I want to keep my creds kind of hidden while I do this, so I think this might be the best way. And then we have one for our email addresses. This is where you're going to put in your email addresses that you're going to want to send the message to, and then you just have another text file called whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it message one or test. That was supposed to be test message, but anyway, this is going to contain the message you want to email. So first thing we're going to do is we will open up our Visual Code Studio. We'll go to a new file. Have I already got it done? No. Okay. So we'll save this as, I'm going to call it emailer.py. And I'm going to save that into my, where is it? Sorry. There we go, Python scripts. Then we'll just save it in here. Okay. So we're going to save it as a Python program. So you see the amount of languages you can use with Visual Code Studio. So we'll save it as a Python program. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to so the good thing about Visual Code is that it gives you a terminal here in the actual window. So what was I in? So I'm going to have to cd into, I think it's docs documents. Okay, and it's cd python, yeah, there we go, and cd emailer. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get what we need. Nearly everything that we need for this script is actually installed by default. So there might be one import we might need. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import sm going to import the SMTP lib library. So actually, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. So let me just see if I can increase the size here. Should be no. Give me a second. Can I increase the size of the text here? Give me 1 second. I just want to get this size right. Just give me just 1 second. I should have done this beforehand, but anyway. Looks like you have to go into the actual settings, I think. See. Okay, should be easy enough. Let's see if this works. There we go. Oops, it's too big. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so what we can do is we should be able to bring the terminal down a little bit. That's better. Okay, so that's probably a little bit better. So we've imported our SMTP library, and I think we need. Let's see if we can get this from email. Do we have it? No, we don't. I don't think we do. No. Oh no, that's because I spelled from wrong. From email. Yeah, we have email. Dot. Mine, is it? No. M-I-M-E. There we go. Dot. Text. So everything we have is actually already built in. So I'm going to import MIME text. Right? So they are the only imports we need. So first thing we need to do is we're going to actually read in our message file. So it's going to be with open okay, this is going to be I called it, I think it was, I called it test. Did I call it again? Let me just check. I called it test SG. Okay. Okay, I call it test SG, and we want to set that to read. So there we go. And we will call this, might as well use simple ones. We'll just call it my file. Could use a better variable name, we're just going to use my file. Okay? And now what we need to do is tab it in. Now we need to, this is going to the body of our email, so we're going to call it body. If I can spell body right. Equals my file dot read. So okay, so that is going to read in the body of the email. Okay. Now the next step is to get our email addresses, and I just realized I spelled with wrong, so it should be with. So with open. Okay, it's basically the same idea up here as up here. So what we'll do is, let's make this quicker. We'll just copy this here, because it's basically exactly the same code. And we just change this to, what did I call it? I think I call it email addresses. So yeah, I'll just copy this. I'll just go to properties and get the name from there. So the reason I'm doing this, just to make sure that I don't mess up the name when I type it in. So right, we're reading them in. Okay, so we'll call this. I'll make the variable simple. Okay, it's not going to be. I'm not worried about variable names at the moment. I just want to show you how to do this. And we will call this data, because this is data because the email is data. So data, it's the same as before. Sorry, how am I saying? So I already got it here. Okay, data equals my file. So, but what we need to do now is we'll call this email. Maybe not. Might not be a good name, but we'll call it email addy, just to make it easier. So email addy is going to be equal to data. Now, you probably don't need to do this part if you only have one email address, but I'm going to just do it just to show you how to do it with two email addresses. So what we're going to do, we're going to split. Okay, let's spell split. It's probably a bad idea doing it this time in the morning. Okay, so we're going to split that file on basically a space. So it will read in the file and it will check, and if there's a space, it will split it and put it into this variable here, which is basically an I think it's either it's an array. Okay, and now here we come to the bits that actually, now unlike my last script that I did, I'm gonna have to put in another with open, because we have a creds file. So it's basically the same thing as before with open, and I think we call it creds. Now these are, when you type it in, it has to be on like one line, as far as I remember. So this is the new part that I'm adding in, and hopefully it will work. So creds, so we will call this, I'm just going to call it cred. Or AUTH maybe? Why not? AUTH. So we call this cred. I'm going to call this AUTH. Okay. So I'm going to call this my creds. My creds, and we'll call it cred dot split. Okay, so now hopefully this should work. I'm not going to print out my creds, so if this doesn't work, I'm going to stop the video and test it. But we're going to create a variable called from address. This is what happens when you're dyslexic and a coder. Okay. Then we say user name. And we will say password. So this is going to be equal to my creds. So this, because we split it into an array. So it's going to be the first element of the array. This should be actually, well, and then the username should be equal to my creds, and then that's the second element of the array, and this here is my creds. Okay, so let's see my creds, and that is the third element of the array. So that's first, second, and third element of the array. Okay. So now here's the bit that actually does the emailing, and just for quickness sake, because I already got it here in my other script, and really you don't really need any this is okay. So what we're doing here is we have this is just for quickness, because I'm getting tired of typing. So the first thing we have here is we have a for loop, and what that for loop does, it loops through. Sorry, there is one thing I'm going to have to change. Email Addy has to be changed. That has to be Addy. So it loops through your email, okay, addresses, and then for each email, it is going to. Actually, we're going to have to just change a few things here. So, where are we going? Yeah. So, I'm just going to keep it the same way as I did it on the last script I did. So, message, subject, as is going to be follow up. So, okay, let's see. Okay, that looks everything. Okay, so what it's going to do is going to loop through your email addresses, get each email, and it's going to basically email the person. So you have your subject here for whatever your subject is. So you just type in your subject there, That's going to be your from address, so that'll be your own address, like my email address. Okay, and then that is your to email address. So let me just double check things. Yeah, everything looks fine. So and then this here is connecting up to the server. So this is the server for Google, and the rest of it, this is just kind of the authentication stuff, and then it's going to do send it and then quit, and at the end it'll print mail sent. So I think that's everything I need. Okay. Now the reason why I have the from address here is because I'm actually going to email it to myself. So if you want to, the reason that's why in my email address file I put my own email address first to make it easier, so I can just grab my own email address, so I don't have to type it in. Yes, that does mean that it's going to send an email to yourself, but if you want to, you can just type in, you can just get rid of that there and put in your own email address if you want to. I just don't want to show my email address, so that's why I'm doing it that way. So you could put whatever your email address is there, and it'll work fine. So let's see if this actually works. So we'll just go to File, Save, and we'll type in Python, emailer, should just, no, email, sorry, Python, py, let's see if that works. Hopefully it works, probably won't. No, okay, unexpected indent, okay, that's fine. That's because I copied and pasted, so. I think there's a quick way of doing this and this, but anyway. Can't remember how to do it. And I'm not going to go Google because it just, if it was at the beginning of the video I probably would, but let's just get this done. Let's see. Okay, right, let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. No, no such file called test.sg. What did I call that then? Oops. Oh yeah, I have a dot there, so we'll just rename that as test. Be easy enough. Let's call it MSG. Underscore MSG. Okay, let's see if that works. So we'll just change that to, oh yeah, and I forgot to change these names here, so let's just do that while we add it. Username, FromAddress. Okay, that should do. And what do we have to do? Where is it? MSG. So test. Let's go on MSG. File save. Let's run this and see what happens. Okay. Where are we going? From. It's me. Where is it? What do they call it? Call that FromAddress. Okay. Right. That's what happens when you change variables. And also when you do this early in the morning without having any breakfast before. So let's try this again. Mail sent. Okay, I have 2 email addresses in it just to test it, but yeah, the mail it says mail has been sent, and let's just prove it. I'll just go into my mail box. Well, actually, there. See, it worked. Yes, unfortunately, you can see some of my emails, but anyway. Probably wasn't a good idea to show you that. But anyway, look, it's sent. So yeah, so that's how you can send in, an email in Python, basically. Now, in my other script that I made, I was able to attach other things. I was able to attach, actually, I was able to attach like Word documents, PDFs, whatever I wanted really. So it would automate the process of sending in stuff to, basically sending CVs and cover letters. So, okay. So I hope you really enjoyed that, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, or share it, whatever you want. But thanks, and see you next time.